I was writing, I was journaling. So when
Okay.
I first started this, when I first started channeling, and I didn't call it channeling at the time, I was getting, a couple of words, two, three words, a sentence. And so I always had a journal by my side and I was writing things down because I was finding it very interesting that I was talking about things and saying things that I didn't even know about, or I would say things differently than what, I would say them. Well, the more my consciousness grew, the more I started meditating more, went deeper into trance, I was getting so much information that when I was coming through, I couldn't remember it all to write it down. So I want to say that was about a year or two in that I decided to start voice recording myself on my iPhone. And
Okay.
that's when my mind was really blown. That's when I kind of had to come to this place where I believed in it because I knew it wasn't me when I heard those recordings back. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it wasn't, that you found your words changed and, things that you wouldn't typically use in your own daily.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Right. Yeah, early on, a lot of these beings, I took on their personality. I don't do that so much anymore. I think that I equate it to, playing softball. The more you play softball, the better you get at it. It just becomes second nature. And I
yeah,
think that's what's happening to my channeling over the years. But when I first started channeling, I really took on the persona of a lot of these beings. So my voice would change dramatically. A lot of people even saw very dramatic facial changes in me very early
yeah,
on. And so it was undeniable when you would listen back to the recording because it wasn't even my voice.
right.
If there was a male being, my voice would become very deep. And yeah, I would definitely talk in ways that wasn't me. I would even talk about things sometimes that I didn't agree with or I didn't believe in.
Mhm.
I always say I didn't even believe in extraterrestrials until I started channeling them. So it took me to channel them to finally say, okay, I'm a believer now. But yeah, the voice recordings were definitely a turning point for me. And I have to say they still are because
Right.
I film my live events and
Mhm.
that little voice that's going, this isn't working right. When
Right.
I listen back, I'm always blown away. It's always taking me back to that time in my life where I started listening to those voice recordings. I had a hard time listening to them at first. It kind of
Yeah.
freaked me out. Like I would record myself and I'd give it to a friend and say, what do you think about this? But now I love to listen back to my channels and I'm always really surprised, at the messages that come in.